Welcome to my channel, folks, Wildlife Ranger for all things natural history. Today I hope you will embark upon a journey with me to look at a delicate woodland plant known as common wood sorrel or Oxalis acetosella. So let's take a close look at the plant. The botanical illustrations that follow illustrate the overall presentation of this little plant. Welcome to my channel, folks, Wildlife Ranger on YouTube. Today we're going to come and look at a plant known as common wood sorrel, which is just in this little stand here, it's known as Oxalis acetosella, and it's a beautiful little heart-shaped leaved flower with 5 white petals with delicate venation. And today we're going to look at the general habitat. Behind us over there is the hill slope that we looked at the other day, and directly behind us here, or in front of us here, is a woodland flush, or a flush running through the woods where water will flow off the hill slope. And here we find on these rich damp soils the plant common wood sorrel, Oxalis acetosella. As I say, it's currently flowering at the moment. It's an unusual little plant. When the weather is dim, the flowers will close over, and when there is a sign of rain or it's not quite right for the leaves will fold up, having a partition down the middle. So this is the wood sorrel, not to be confused with the clover, which we'll cover in the video, but this is the generalised habitat that we find this plant in today, and we've managed to locate it flowering on the 28th of April. Wood sorrel, Oxalis acetosella, is an indicator of ancient woodland. Interestingly, wood sorrel is also at home in coniferous plantations. With the current hot spell, the flowers and leaves of this specimen did not show itself off to its full extent. Whilst filming the flowers, we were endorsed by a woodpecker which landed on a tree 2 to 3 meters away, and which can be heard in the video. As always, before we go out into the field to look for it, we look at the features and characteristics that will enable us to identify and find it. The plant wood sorrel is also known by a number of common or vernacular names, notably Alleluia and Sleeping Mollly. The term Alleluia derives from the fact that the plants traditionally appear between Easter and Whitsun, where the term may have been echoed from many rural parishes around the country. The term Sleeping Mollly, on the other hand, reflects the flower's ability to retract and curl up when the sunshine is too bright, looking like a sleeping girl. The Latin name more accurately reflects the properties of the plant, Oxalis acetosella. Oxalis coming from the high content of oxalic acid in its leaves, and the derivation of acetosella from Greek is translated to Latin for vinegary or sour. Okay folks, so let's have a look at the flower of wood sorrel. It's a member of the family Oxalidaceae, which is the sorrel family. It's a low-growing rhizomatous perennial which grows up to 10 centimeters tall. It has got 5 distinct petals, which are predominantly white with faint pink or mauve venation, and these nectar guides point to the centre of the flower. At night and in the sun, the flowers close and the leaves fold respectfully. So, let's take a close look inside the flower. Petals have a pink mauve nectar guide leading to a brief yellow-orange flower centre. Although this plant isn't wholly dependent on insects for pollination, as we shall briefly see. It has 10 stamens in 2 rings of 5 and 5 sepals of approximately 3 to 4 millimeters in size, equal an oblong. It has 5 carpels and the styles are fused to form a 5-chambered ovary. The flowers, as we know them, flower between April and May. However, this unusual little plant has a secondary flowering period where buds appear over the summer and it self-pollinates, subsequently dispersing seeds with explosive activity. And we may visit that later in the summer. As always, the following botanical table is included for those who may wish to study the plant in more detail, and it may be paused at any point. So finally, let's have a look at the leaves. The plant has trifoliate compound leaves which are heart-shaped. And note, the leaflets are heart-shaped and not elliptically ovoid, and they fold through the middle. They occur on groups of 3 on the delicate long leaf stalk known as a petiole. The leaves have a vivid bright green upper side and a slightly duller underside, which may have red tinges as the season progresses. Finally, in concluding and for the sake of completion, we make a few general comments on potential confusing species. Wood sorrel may be at a glance confused with wood anemone, but of course, as we know, the leaves of wood anemone are palmate and the leaves of sorrel are trifoliate. The key distinction between lesser trefoil, which is Trifolium dubium, and wood sorrel is the shape of the leaves, the shape being heart-shaped in sorrel and egg-shaped in the clover. In the case of trailing or procumbent sorrel, the key distinction is of course the colour of the flower, which are in this instance yellow. Well, that's it from me, folks. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you can join me on the next track to find the next in the series of plants in the spring botany, and hope you yourself are well on your way to finding 50 plants in 50 days. If you have enjoyed this video or found it useful, please like, share and subscribe and help this channel become successful. Until the next plant in the series, see you soon.